Hello and welcome to my video tutorial showing you how to better use your Cyclo DS Evolution card with the Easy 3-in-1 expansion pack. Our first goal is to get Rumble working. So we're going to go ahead and launch the GBA Exploder tool set. Okay, this is version 0.55 that we're looking at. And we're going to enable Rumble Medium. That reboots the system back to the menu. Takes a moment. Now we're going to launch a Rumble-enabled game, Metroid Prime Pinball. And I felt the pack initialize already, and you'll catch it in a minute. Alright, we'll start the game up. And I'm sure you can hear the rumbling happening. I can certainly feel it rumbling. And as you can see, we're all functional. Alright, next up we're going to get the RAM expansion working for the Opera web browser. Once again, we're going to launch the GBA Exploder and expansion RAM. Again, the system will reset. And we can go ahead and launch the Nintendo web browser. Alright. As you can see, it's loading just fine. And we will go ahead and hit Google. It's connecting to my network. And as you can see, we have hit it. Or actually, we hit the wrong Google. We hit Google with two G's, so it's always nice to see good spam. As you can see, though, it does work just fine. Nice try, though, huh? Okay, next on the list, let's talk about Game Boy Advance games. As you know, the DS does use Game Boy Advance games. The GBA Exploder is once again the tool we're going to use. Okay, to do this, we're going to go to one of the built-in memory modes. Okay. Unfortunately, my right button isn't working as well as it could. Oh, I just had it and I moved it back. Come on, you little piglet. There we go. So right now, as you can see, the current save RAM inside of there is Ultimate Brain Games. We are going to choose a different game to copy in. And as you can see up on the top, we can go through our listing here, and I've got tons of different games. We'll do Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. You can choose a save file to write the existing save to before you move to the new game. I'll save that to slot 2. And do I want to load a save file for this game when I start the game? No. Alright, as you can see, it's going to erase the onboard memory. This gives you an idea exactly how long this process takes when you want to change games. And so there's nothing going on down there. It's not an overly long process. It depends on how big the game was to begin with. It was already in there, I think. I don't know. I've seen this take different lengths of time, but this will at least give you some idea. Now, these are not modified GBA ROMs that we're using here. These are clean ROMs. Get that Moir pattern gone there. Okay, and then it analyzes the ROM itself, obviously to do some sort of patching or whatever it needs to do. I don't claim to be the expert here. And now it's going to quickly dump the GBA game to the onboard RAM. Now the cool thing is once this is done, you can actually take this cartridge out and put it into another DS, and it'll play the game that's still stored on there. It's pretty cool. This process you only have to do once each time you change the game. If we wanted to play Prince of Persia again, which I'll show you, it's very simple. Okay, so now the game is ready. All we have to do is hit X to launch it. And off we go. And as you can see, it works just fine. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, you can see the game runs just as fast as you would expect it to. Alright, so now what we can do is, if we wanted to play this game again, we turn it on, hold down select as we boot. I'm sorry, that goes to the Cyclo refurb menu there. Okay, so now we can just right down to the start game. And as you can see, we don't have to do that process each subsequent time we want to play. It's just ready to roll. So you really only have to do that process once. The good part is you can save multiple save files and load different save files, so if you want to keep track of more than one game at a time, you can. And just to prove there's no trickery afoot, you can see that's an easy flash cartridge. All right, I'll fire this guy up one more time. Nothing up my sleeve. And you see it booted straight to the Game Boy game. And it is in fact the same game we just had. So there you go, folks. That's really as hard as it is to get GBA games working, playing 100% full speed, as well as getting the rumble, as well as getting the RAM expansion, all in one neat little card. This guy will work with the Cyclo DS Evolution. It'll work with the R4 and other cartridges. The Cyclo Evolution will actually natively use the rumble and the RAM expansion, so you don't have to actually make those choices. But if you have an R4 or one of the other cartridges, you'll probably have to choose the RAM expansion or the rumble to get it to work. Also, if you have a newer version of this cartridge, which you can't tell, the newer version of this cartridge currently does not work with the Cyclo DS Evolution natively. However, as of firmware 1.4 final, we should actually see that built back in natively. If you have an older version of this cartridge, yes, you may use the Cyclo DS without using those tools unless you're interested in running GBA games.